Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It appeared that Sister Wives star Kody Brown and Meri Brown may be happy together when they first met, but their legal marriage that quickly changed into a spiritual one quickly degenerated into small-minded taunts, hurting both parties. It must be stated that Kody seemed crueler than his former spouse. To Kody's credit, Meri ought to have realized what was going on. He kept hinting to her that he was no longer feeling love. She chose not to go, nonetheless, for personal reasons. Some of Meri's most scathing insults and taunts were likely sparked by his regrettable catfishing incident. Meri felt lonely when she started talking to a lady she mistook for a man. Meri, deprived of love because of Robin Brown, discovered what she believed to be superior. But more worse was the individual who deceived her in 2015. At least Kody was who he said he was. Kody was still harboring his grudge as late as 2023. He stated this during a Sister Wives Look Back, How We Started episode. Kody ought to show Meri some consideration. The only wife he was obviously truly in love with was Robin. She most likely had a valid cause for seeking a more satisfying relationship. However, given his capacity as the patriarch, he could give love to 4 women, but they couldn't seek out connections with other people. That's how polygamy operates, and in certain families, that dynamic brings happiness. But in the Brown household, that was not the case. According to a People exclusive, Meri disputed that her marriage failed because of her affair with a catfish. But even years later, Kody's anger might be telling a different tale. Perhaps her betrayal was a deal-breaker for him. After that, while withholding forgiveness, he probably didn't really consider her his husband anymore. He wanted to convey that he was over it when he called Meri at that time. It's likely that everyone who watched Sister Wives was aware that Kody was no longer in love. But Meri might have told herself something else, holding on to what was known. Meri's scammer claimed to be a successful businessman named Sam Cooper. Under the guise of a man in his 40s, the individual deceived Meri. Eventually, it was discovered that Jackie Overton was Meri's romantic interest. Meri, who had been so trusting and had high hopes, was crushed by this, and Kody wouldn't forgive her. A number of things undoubtedly led to their breakup, but the catfish event surely pushed their troubles into critical mass. Perhaps Kody needed to apologize for his inability to comprehend Meri's motivations. He is obviously obsessed with Robin, as all of his ex-partners were aware. Therefore, she wasn't actually endangering her spiritual bond. The family was bound to fail, and Meri was just being human. Kody appears to be playing the victim when he treats Meri so harshly, suggesting that he is the one who has been wronged. Meri left Kody in January 2023 after a stunning 32 years of marriage. Following that, Meri attempted to move on with Amos Andrews. Watch the video above to find out more about their brief romance. Only 4 months passed throughout that romance. She is currently hinting at a fresh romance with Brandon Stone. Although she hasn't had luck in love, luck may and typically does change. Meri will feel really strong if she ends her losing trend, and I believe she will. She deserves a fulfilling relationship in which she feels truly appreciated and understood. She is entitled to happiness since she earned it. Even if her pals didn't get along with Kody, there were a lot of put-downs with him. On screen, Kody criticized her mean girlfriends, including Meri's admirable friend Jen Sullivan. Actually, Kody used extremely derogatory language when describing Meri's friends. This isn't affection or even love. Meri is capable of better. He claims that because of her pals, she is unable to locate a boyfriend. In addition to attacking her, he is demeaning her closest loved ones. It was obvious that Kody didn't value Meri's friends, who undoubtedly had an impact on her relationship. Perhaps sometimes the truth was painful. Although he thinks he's being singled out because he loves Robin, the ex-partners have other perspectives. Their emotions are also legitimate. According to Meri, Jen is more devoted than the majority of her relatives. They collaborate in recording Fridays with Friends portions. They appear to have a solid, happy, and healthy relationship. But Kody perceives danger everywhere. Even if he is deserving of some of the criticism, Anyone who would disparage him is excommunicated. Although Kody is not always negative and his feelings should not be disregarded, he was the one who fell in love with Robin. He had virtually no emotional flexibility as a result. His remaining supplies for the other women were limited. It now appears that Robin received the most of the money. She had the $1 million property, the David Yurman signet ring that matched Kody's, and, supposedly, $70,000 worth of dolls that she acquired on Etsy. Janelle mentioned that they didn't have much money and that Kody withdrew a lot of money from the family fund while she handled the bookkeeping. For Janelle, money seems to be a really sensitive subject that greatly irritates her. Last season, on Sister Wives season 18, she definitely didn't like her cramped flat. Occasionally, scenes were set in Robin and Kody's shared house. Robin described it as having a large living area, a luxurious kitchen, and plenty of space for the core family and others. The exes have real gripes. They too may be at fault sometimes. The dynamics of the family were complicated, and things changed once more when Robin got involved. As Kody and Robin drew closer, it felt like they were icing everyone else out, whether it was actually true or not. For instance, they isolated themselves during the epidemic because they were afraid of getting infected. However, oddly, it eventually appeared that Kody never bothered to get vaccinated at all, according to his son, Peyton Brown. Was Kody's anti-vaxxer stance the reason he was so watchful? There's no evidence, but it adds a fascinating dimension to the pandemic drama by suggesting that, despite having the opportunity to get vaccinated, Kody might have made a decision that caused him to become separated from other Browns. Because of this, it appeared cruel when Kody said to Meri, "Blame yourself if I don't love you," in the dramatic season 19 trailer. For him, it all made sense, but people who witnessed Kody cut out the family during the COVID-19 outbreak and show preference for Robin on stage would have thought differently. Perhaps they believed that Kody should take some of the blame because he abused Meri, who is over polygamy. Mentioning their previous position with Kody on screen, although they were officially in a spiritual partnership, their relationship was not conventional. He seemed to look down on her a lot. He hadn't forgiven her for the catfishing, and he seemed to be doing everything he could to encourage her to stop dating him. Actually, that wasn't a bad thing, but it did feel harsh at times. It's difficult to dispute, though, that by pushing Meri away, he was assisting her. She could never truly be content with someone who doesn't care about her. So, really, Kody might have been acting appropriately in this situation. With Meri, he has discussed how the writing was on the wall. Here, he plays the victim by implying that she ought to have realized it was over rather than prolonging it. He acts to alienate Meri rather than terminating it himself, as if in the hopes that she will go. That way, he won't have to be the bad guy. Human relationships may be difficult, so it's possible that Kody would have wanted Meri to leave him rather than his asking her to do so. He had to be very honest about his feelings, though, because she disregarded his warning signs, the warning signs that spectators could see from space. It became quite awkward as Meri hung in there. She even became friends with Meri. The two women had an odd bond. Meri appeared to be a little innocent and didn't fully get Robin. It's probable that Robin wasn't Meri's best friend because she was obviously interested in monogamy for a long time, even though she pretended not to. By stating that the writing is on the wall, Kody implied that Meri ought to have been aware of what was about to occur. He was blaming her for everything. However, due to her religious views, she may have felt awkward departing a plural marriage. She may have remained in a spiritual relationship for many pragmatic reasons. In addition to religion, she had to consider her job as a reality star. If she left, she might have been concerned about losing her notoriety. When Meri eventually gave up, realizing that the spiritual union was not progressing, she texted Kody, destined to have yet another disappointing encounter. Kody blamed Meri, even wondering whether she was concealing a romantic interest. Kody has always been completely focused on Robin, so it was strange to say the least that he would show a brief moment of jealousy over a potential love interest, which was probably a fabrication of his imagination. Meri had hit her limit. It was about feeling unwanted, neglected, and low on the totem pole. A secret reason for leaving wasn't really necessary. Anyone would want to leave since the situation was so horrible. Kody became suspicious after Meri left, which seemed strange. Perhaps he was merely trying to give the impression that she had a hidden agenda. Meri shines above, starting a completely new life without Kody. She is receiving a lot of affection from her fans. Almost everyone wants to win a split in the court of public opinion. Even though Kody's partiality caused the family's demise, it occasionally appears like a publicity stunt when he plays the victim. However, we may not be giving Kody enough credit. Meri's catfishing may have caused him to suffer significant injuries. Perhaps her departure reminded him of that hurt and made him wonder if she had another lover. However, Kody loses his breakups when he is depressed. People assume he's fine because he still has a wife and a great house. In reality, they don't look under the surface. He's accustomed to being viewed as a villain. As long as he has a clear conscience, he should be fine. But occasionally, it feels like the sister wives patriarch is burdened by everything that has transpired in his previous marriages. He might be happier if he attempts to see things from Meri's perspective and quits mistrusting her. He is simply mired in the past when he keeps pointing the finger. Following the murder of his son, Sister Wives star Kody Brown remained silent. Nonetheless, the well-known husband from the TLC show was photographed as he was starting to run. Some fans are criticizing the ex-husband of 4 for his location, which is the source of the ongoing dispute. Some people think that in order to cope with his loss, he must be where he is. Kody Brown, a sister wife, remained silent. Following a horrific tragedy, the death of one of their children, Kody Brown and his family are adjusting to life today. 3 weeks after Garrison Brown committed suicide, the family members' wounds are still fresh. In the days and weeks that followed, some sister wives' family members turned to social media. They expressed their sorrow over the passing of a beloved friend, brother, uncle, and son. After Garrison's death, his mother, Janelle Brown, scribbled a few messages. She is silent today, though, and is probably grieving with her large family by her side. Messages also came from Christine Brown and Meri Brown. It was difficult for both ex-wives to return to their regular lives. The same is true for a couple of the older sister wives' kids who are trying to figure out what happened. But Kody Brown stayed out of the spotlight. That was before recently. Kody runs through the gambling hall. A perceptive sister wives fan noticed Kody Brown speeding past. Only his back was visible in the picture they snapped, which is displayed below. But the person who took the picture claimed to have hurried through a casino in Vegas. Thus, Sister Wives fans started a debate online right once, and by Thursday morning, there were 520 comments. It was widely believed that Kody shouldn't be in a casino when his family was in mourning. But a lot of people think that everyone grieves in a unique way. Other users conjectured that he might have needed to divert his attention from his suffering because he seems to be alone himself. According to the photo's submitter, Kody was running through the casino's stores. However, that was the extent of it. Sister Wives, navigating stores. According to one of the adult daughters of the Sister Wives, Robin Brown and her father spent a lot more than they could afford. Since Kody appeared to enjoy shopping, some admirers imagined he was out shopping. But a lot more Sister Wives fans were keen to spare Kody from the typical barrage that follows a post about him. Kody is viewed by them as a parent who just lost a son. Fans were understanding of his predicament today, regardless of why he was there. It seemed like many admirers were prepared to stop their typical Kody berating, despite the fact that many conjectured that it was his way of getting some grief therapy. Accordingly, the person who posted the picture identified themselves as Kody Brown. But even if it looks a lot like Kody Brown from behind, some people would question whether it's him, because you can't see his face. Nevertheless, the Sister Wives patriarch benefited from this lesson. It shows how many people can relate to this TLC series star when he is at his lowest. Kody's victim act with Meri doesn't make sense. 6 things I think the Sister Wives patriarch needs to apologize for. Introduction. Kody Brown, the patriarch of the popular reality TV series Sister Wives, is no stranger to controversy. Throughout the years, fans have been watching his complicated relationships unfold. One relationship in particular stands out, his marriage to Meri Brown. While many might expect him to show empathy, understanding, and appreciation toward Meri, he instead seems to play the victim in their dynamic. In this article, We're diving deep into the ways Kody's behavior with Meri doesn't add up, and why it's time for the Sister Wives patriarch to issue a long overdue apology. 1. The manipulation of the victim narrative. Kody's recent behavior toward Meri has raised eyebrows. Instead of taking responsibility for his role in their crumbling relationship, he often portrays himself as the victim. Meri's deep emotional struggles have been aired on TV for years, yet Kody often plays the part of someone who has been wronged in the situation. It's time for Kody to recognize that his actions, not just Meri's emotional responses, have played a part in the deterioration of their relationship. Why Kody needs to apologize. Kody's lack of acknowledgement of his role in their marriage issues is damaging. Apologizing for manipulating the situation and playing the victim instead of offering Meri the understanding she deserves would be a step in the right direction. He needs to own his actions and stop deflecting blame onto her. 2. The disrespectful treatment of Meri's emotional needs. Throughout their marriage, Kody has repeatedly shown a lack of emotional connection with Meri. Meri, who once seemed to have a strong bond with her husband, has found herself on the receiving end of neglect and emotional abandonment. While he appears to be highly attentive to his other wives, his coldness toward Meri is hard to ignore. Why Kody needs to apologize. It's clear that Meri has longed for emotional validation and support from Kody. The constant disregard for her feelings not only damaged their relationship, but also affected Meri's well-being. A heartfelt apology from Kody would acknowledge the hurt he caused by emotionally neglecting her, as well as give her the closure she deserves. 3. Ignoring Meri's desire for independence. Kody frequently belittles Meri's need for personal growth and independence. Meri has spent years building her own identity and trying to find purpose outside of her role as a wife, yet Kody constantly undermines her efforts. Whether it's her entrepreneurial endeavors or emotional boundaries, Kody's disregard for Meri's individuality has been apparent. Why Kody needs to apologize. Meri's desire for independence is not an attack on Kody or their relationship. It's a sign of personal growth. Kody should apologize for trying to control her actions and preventing her from evolving into the person she was meant to be. Meri deserves respect for her individuality, and an apology from Kody would be an acknowledgement of her right to grow on her own terms. 4. The neglect of their marriage. A common theme that is played out on Sister Wives is Kody's obvious lack of effort in maintaining his marriage with Meri. While he invests time and energy into his other relationships, his bond with Meri has often been portrayed as cold, distant, and devoid of affection. This neglect has had a significant impact on Meri's emotional state. Why Kody needs to apologize. Marriage takes effort from both sides, and Kody's lack of effort with Meri is inexcusable. A sincere apology would acknowledge his neglect and recognize the emotional toll it has taken on Meri. If he truly values their connection, Kody needs to make amends for failing to nurture their relationship. 5. The disregard for Meri's feelings of rejection. Meri has often expressed feelings of rejection from Kody, particularly after the public breakdown of their marriage. The emotional distance between them has been evident on camera, and it's clear that Meri feels abandoned in the wake of Kody's focus on his other wives. Why Kody needs to apologize. Rejection is painful, especially when it comes from a spouse. Kody's lack of empathy toward Meri's feelings of being emotionally abandoned needs to be addressed. An apology would help validate her emotions and show her that Kody acknowledges the hurt he caused by rejecting her both emotionally and physically. 6. The failure to protect Meri from public humiliation. Throughout the years, Kody has failed to protect Meri from public humiliation, particularly regarding her catfishing scandal. Instead of standing by her and offering support, Kody distanced himself and made Meri feel more isolated. His failure to defend her in such a vulnerable moment is a glaring example of his disregard for her emotional needs. Why Kody needs to apologize. An apology for not being there for Meri during one of her most difficult times would go a long way. Kody should have protected her from public judgment and supported her through the emotional fallout of the scandal. An apology would demonstrate that he acknowledges the pain he caused by abandoning her during this vulnerable time. Conclusion. Kody's behavior toward Meri has been a complex and painful journey for both of them. However, his actions, or lack thereof, have left Meri feeling undervalued, neglected, and emotionally abandoned. It's time for Kody to take accountability for his role in the breakdown of their relationship and offer a heartfelt apology to the woman who has been by his side for so long. If Kody truly cares about healing their fractured relationship, an apology is the first step in the right direction. Closing hook. Do you think Kody will ever apologize to Meri, or is their relationship beyond repair? Comment below and let us know your thoughts on this ongoing drama. This structure lays the groundwork for a detailed, long-form article. Each of these points can be expanded with more background information, quotes from the show, analysis of their relationship over the years, and deeper insight into the emotional aspects of Kody and Meri's struggles. Would you like me to continue developing this article?